Hi, I want to talk about something that will help you and humanity. And it has to do with this photo up here of Kylie Jenner wearing a lion head for Paris Fashion Week. She's walking the runway for designer Scapegoating. I think that's how you say his name. I'm no fashion person. Anyway, this lion head it's not a real lion head, but it looked real, and a lot of people reacted to it. In fact, their default was outrage. Here's my advice when you see something like that. Resist defaulting to outrage. Don't do it. Take a few breaths. Even meditate for a minute or so and regulate those emotions. And then, now that you've calmed down, do a little research. Find out the story behind it. You set those images up in order to evoke a reaction from you. I mean, they're just clickbait, and they're just exploiting your emotions. You do realize when you allow that to happen, you actually become a slave to other people's manipulations. It's really quite better for you if you train yourself not to do that. And it's also better for humanity because then you're not spreading lies. You're not getting everybody else's outrage going. Like, one of the things that I saw with this whole fiasco was that when people were finally told the truth, that it was not real. She was actually just a model on a runway for the Scapegoating show, and there were other models doing it alongside with her. The whole thing was a protest against trophy hunting of lions. But when people were finally told the truth, they were still outraged. But this time they just directed it to the Kardashians, the scapegoats. They directed it to the Kardashians because there's consensus that it is okay to hate on the Kardashians no matter what. Misdirected hate. It's okay. There's consensus. There's a sort of mob consensus about it. I find it troubling that the Kardashians become this sort of scapegoat for all the blames in the world, especially like the female world. They are guilty of creating a beauty standard that is impossible to achieve through natural means. And there's a lot of people who've copied that style. And yes, it hurts us. It hurts our children. It hurts all of us. But it hurts us because we consume it. Because we go to it, we look at it, we get our little dopamine high. Then we come back to it because we want to keep that dopamine going. We get that dopamine high because we see that aspiring beauty or lifestyle, and for a quick moment, we imagine it for us, but it's not real. Yes, they are manipulating you in that way, but also you are allowing yourself to be manipulated. Remember this, in every drug deal, there is both the drug dealer and the person buying the drugs. When it exists without a reciprocal relationship between the two, there are ways to not participate in this. And the first way is to just not consume that kind of content. And there's tricks that you can do in your social media so that doesn't happen. Every time you see an image like that, you can let the algorithm know. Usually it's the 3 dots there's a way. Usually you can let the algorithm know that you don't want to see that stuff. In my own social media feeds, I never see that. I never see any of that. I see what I want to see. And if you're seeing a bunch of photoshopped women in your social media, it's because that's what the algorithm thinks that you want to see based on your scrolling behavior. Another thing that I want to address, or actually I want to ask, why do you hate the Kardashians so much? Why are they so hateable? Why has everybody agreed that it's okay to hate them. I know, we've already talked about it, that what they do is bad for us. And what we do in relationship to them is bad for us as well. We've already talked about that. I think we hate them so much because, number one, there's consensus. Everybody's like, okay, this one's okay to hate. Here's our scapegoat. We can put all of our blames, we can blame them for all of our problems, for all of our faults when it comes to feeling bad about ourselves. So, damn, I feel bad about myself. I feel like I keep judging myself against other people. I'm going to blame the Kardashians for that. I care too much about what other people think. I'm going to blame the Kardashians for that. And it's easy because, you know, all that Photoshop and like the augmented bodies and everything. Well, they're not even human anymore, right? They're not human. They're just dolls now. They have no emotions. They have no feelings. We could just put all our shit onto them. That's fucked. That's actually really fucked because what you're doing is you're practicing a lack of compassion for another person, and because they kind of represent you, they kind of represent your self-hate, you're actually expressing a lack of compassion for yourself. I mean, you shouldn't be hating on them, and you shouldn't be hating on yourself. You should be loving yourself. You shouldn't be treating yourself like that. And if you were not treating yourself like that, you probably would not be treating them like that because you would be tapping into your humanness. I don't know if that makes sense, but so I'm actually really, really, really sad about this whole thing, about everybody immediately attacking Kylie Jenner for this lion thing when she was just doing her job for a client named Sharpelli. Other models were doing it. And then when people found out the truth about it, they still attacked her because she is a scapegoat. Because that's how people are. Because people cannot accept that they were wrong in attacking her in the first place. And then they pile on to the bandwagon. They rallied so much hate that they're just high on it. Oh, my heart breaks. My heart is literally breaking right now. And I know it happens all the time, and that's why my heart's breaking, because it happens all the fucking time. If we did not do this, we could have so much freedom. The fact that people's default is outrage. The fact that they are unwilling to have compassion for themselves and for others. The fact that they will not look objectively at a situation, but are driven by emotion. The fact that they are so jump on the battle bandwagons. I don't know, maybe for that sense of belonging to something, that rage that gives them a sense of purpose. If we stop doing all of that, the greed, the jealousy follows it. If we were able to look at ourselves and say, why does this upset me? What is going on in my head? Because it's all in our head. It's not them, it's us. It's how we are reacting to it. If we could all handle those things within ourselves, we would be happier, and we would be able to actually have a peaceful, free society. We could all do that for ourselves. And I know I'm much too much of an idealist. But I believe this is possible because I can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Humans are what they are. It's so fucking simple. And they're so quick to accept any freaking lie that keeps them from dealing with the actual truth about themselves and the reality and the act on your life until you realize the parts that are real and the parts that are not real. Because all of those parts that are not real, generated by media manipulations and all that kind of stuff, all those things that are not real actually distract you from your purpose and your goals. They distract you. They keep you from being happy. I know I turn off people with my straightforwardness, but what else am I supposed to do? I don't know how to lie. I cannot lie. I don't know what, I can't fucking sugarcoat things. It always feels like a lie to me. So I can't do it. I am deeply sorry if you're offended by this post. Please know that I don't do it to shock. I don't do it to offend anybody. Everything that I say comes from a place of love. I do it out of love. I do it because I love you and I love humanity. And I want you to have a happy life. I wrote a little bit more about it on my newsletter, and I'll put a link in the caption below if you want to read about it. And I want to say, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to like. I don't know if this is something that you could like. I don't know. Is this something that you could like? It seems that I kind of turn off a lot of people with my honesty, right? But if it resonates with you, I would really appreciate a like, because I'm feeling kind of lonely in this head right now. And if you hit the bell button, it will let the algorithm know that my content is worthy of being shown to others. So I'd appreciate that. And yeah, I will see you soon.